Hey everyone, thank you for listening to another episode of Dan Tony Sports. My name is Dan Snyder, joined tonight, as always, by Tom. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. By Tony Casper, Dan Beebe. Dan O'Shea is going to be calling in just a moment. And we have a special guest returning for the first time in approximately a year. We have our good friend Tom Gozlowski, ESPN Radio's Tom Goz, affectionately known as the Gozfather. He's going to be here to shed a little bit of insight on the ACC, college football in general. And we're just going to have a great time. He'll be joining us by Skype in just a few minutes. But how are you guys doing tonight?
Fine.
I'm here.
You're here?
I'm here.
You're here.
I just can't.
You can't? Well, good thing we got a Tony's I Can't rant coming up in a little bit.
As always.
Yes. Got a good topic for us tonight?
Yeah, somewhat.
Somewhat good topic? All right. We're going to start, like we always do, with our pigskin poetry. This one, it's a fun one. I should make a book out of these, because I've done 64 poems now. I could sell a book and make a ton of money off of the books. But here we go, without further ado. Football is coming. It's practically here. I wait patiently for this time of year to see all the hitting and to watch all the plays. I like to do nothing on both weekend days, except for watch football from the time that I get up. Meatballs in the crock pot and soda in my cup. College game day first, then the games begin. Watch them all damn day, till like 2 in the morning.
Doesn't rhyme.
Then back up and at 'em for the NFL. Will these games be good? One can never tell. But even if they suck, I'll watch it anyways. My eyes are glued to the TV from one till the end of the day. I noticed a typo. Then I go to work, even though I beg and fight. Then another game to cap off Monday night. Just 3 days until Thursday. I can't wait till then. Just gotta get through Friday, and we do it again.
Yay! You made 2 mistakes there. One, you obviously didn't rhyme those 2 words. And 2, I would take out the soda and put in beer.
Well, I don't drink beer. But I just want to go back to that part about the not rhyming. You're talking about begin, morning, close enough.
Is it though? Is it?
If people can rhyme the word day with day,
No, they can't.
they do.
That doesn't mean they should be able to.
Just because you shouldn't be able to doesn't mean you can't do it.
Oh, well, then it doesn't go down in my book.
It's my poem.
Maybe I grew up in, actual rhyming.
It's my poem. I'll do what I want with it.
Well, obviously, Tom.
What'd you call me?
You hear me?
Huh. All right.
I don't know, Margot. Come on.
I don't...
Have you not seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
My God, I saw that when I was like 7.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
Can you do your rant first?
I guess.
We're going to have a great show, like I had said. Obviously, Dan O'Shea has joined us. Dan, how are you doing tonight?
Rant's going to be about you now.
Fantastic.
That's good to hear. Oh, man. So, we're going to wait for Tom Goz to get here to talk about the college football stuff. So, let's rearrange the show just a little bit. First, I want to talk about the NFL preseason games. You guys watch any of the preseason games?
Yes.
Very little.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Very little. I can't... I have a hard time with preseason, and I'm gonna... This isn't an I can't rant, but it's getting there. It's slowly getting there. I hate the overall hype. It's nice to see these guys and what they can do, but the fact that we're hyping people up after they just went against the third-string defense of a bunch of people who probably won't be there, I don't care how well your quarterback did. I don't.
But wait a second. The third-string defense, okay, I understand that, but when you have Baker Mayfield playing against a first-string defense...
Yeah,
performs well.
I'll tune in for that. But to expect me to watch a full game, that's not going to happen. It's just not. I can think of a lot of other things I could do.
Watching the whole game all the way through, really, except for true diehards.
Yeah, I watched all it, except for the late games. I watched all of the games.
Oh man,
Now listen, true diehard. I was unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I had a great time. I was camping over the weekend, so I missed most of the games, but I did watch a lot of highlights and some breakdowns and everything. I'm super happy football's back, and you know, the hype trains are already rolling on some of these young QBs, like my boy Darnold, Mayfield, Josh Allen's getting some love. So we definitely got to talk about that. I don't know when that's planned, but yeah, I'm just happy that there's some football on.
There are some teams that looked really good, and of course we're gonna talk about, you know, the first teamers, maybe the second teamers, when you have a deep defense like teams like the Vikings do. Even their second string defense is first string for other teams. Like, I would trust the second team Vikings defense to be better than the Patriots first team defense. So, seeing how the Broncos absolutely sucked against the Vikings was just insane. They couldn't get anything going. The Vikings were just scoring at will. And then when the Vikings let off the gas, that's when things really started working out for the the Broncos. So I'm all in on preseason. It's football. It's holding me over until college football starts, which is the 25th, so 2 weeks.
The first games, yeah.
Yeah, which are going to be 4 games of teams that either A, you've never heard of, or B, you don't care about. But I care. I find it to be fun.
Those games are typically entertaining anyway, because it doesn't really matter the caliber, unless there's a huge disparity, like, for example, Alabama against the Citadel. You're going to get a good game most times when you're tuning in where teams are evenly matched.
Exactly.
And even when they're not, sometimes you still get a decent game. You never know what can happen. I mean, Appalachian State beat Michigan one year.
They did. You're 100% right. Appalachian State did, in fact, beat Michigan one year.
I always bet the over.
And we like to take this opportunity to rub it into Nate's face.
Yeah, he can suck it.
None of us...
He knows where he stands.
He knows where he stands, yes.
The back of the line.
The back of the line. Nate, you hear it. You stand at the back of the line because you're a Michigan fan. But how did we get to Michigan?
Just college football finally coming back at the end of the month.
Oh, that's a good point, yes.
And now we get this hodgepodge collection of who's going to make the team, who's not, in the middle, in between.
Yeah. There are some things that I really want to touch on, but I want to wait for some investigations to finish before we do that. Namely the Maryland situation.
Yeah, the Maryland situation is,
crazy.
At this point, going to roll into the season. There's no way that they can patch the boat up before you send it off to sail at this. I think at this juncture. Breaking news was Ohio State investigation finished speaking with Zach Smith today. They said that investigation should be completed by next week, within the next week.
Well, that would be great. So
at least so that we'll have some kind of understanding of what's going on there. But the Maryland one, I think, is going to take a little bit longer.
Maryland, I think, is a little bit worse because somebody died.
Well, yeah, we can lead with that. But, I mean, this also comes down to... this is also questioning the coaching philosophy in total from the head coach. That's what the real question is here. I went off on the whole Urban Meyer thing last week, but that really doesn't directly affect the players in the program itself. It would if the coach isn't there, but that being said, it's not like it. This is how the players were actually coached, the thing at Maryland. That's the issue.
Yes.
And that changes the dynamic entirely, because the kids aren't really affected at Ohio State by what's going on with Urban Myers and Zach Smith. Furthermore, I'd actually kind of like Brian Hartline. to be coaching the wide receivers because our wide receivers have been dog shit for years. Or I can't say that. They've drastically underperformed with the exception of Michael Thomas.
I mean, the best wide receivers come out of Ohio State are their quarterbacks.
That's not true. Michael Thomas is one of the premier wide receivers in the league right now.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, our quarterbacks do turn into good wide receivers. Why? Because they work in college, not in pro.
Terrell Pryor.
We accept that. Yeah, Terrell Pryor, Braxton Miller, we can go on.
Yeah. Some still hold out hope, like Cordero Patterson, that they're actually a quarterback, but...
You mean Cordell Jones.
What did I...
You said Patterson. We did not have Patterson.
You're right.
We did not have that bag of crap.
No, you're right. Good job. But anyways, so Dan O'Shea...
Not getting that bag of crap? Is that what you're congratulating me for?
Exactly. Dan O'Shea, the Jets, I think, have a real problem that they need to address with this preseason, and that is who is going to start, because Teddy Bridgewater looked really good against the starting team. He looked like he was back to what we saw in Minnesota. But then you've also got Sam Darnold, who you're paying a ton of money to, guaranteed money. So what do you do? Do you start Sam Darnold immediately? Do you start Teddy Bridgewater, let him prove that he is back to where he was, 2, 3, 4 games, and then when the quarterback inevitably goes down, be like, hey, we got someone dirt cheap, come get him?
Yeah, I think for now you just let it be an honest competition and see who can win out. But you give Teddy a good amount of minutes against the starters because you want him to up his trade value. The chances that every current starting QB is going to stay healthy through all of preseason are pretty low. Unfortunately for whichever team, happens to lose a quarterback. You never wish it on anyone, but statistics are statistics. So I think you hold on to them even into the beginning of the season until you get a team that's all of a sudden has a big QB need, and that's when you make your sales pitch.
I mean, can we start taking bets as to which quarterback we think is going down?
If you want.
Because I'm telling you right now, I've got my money on Teddy Bridgewater playing in Miami.
That's not a ridiculous bet given Tannehill's history.
Exactly.
It would be tough. I don't think the Jets really want to go in division, so I mean the Dolphins would have to pay for Bridgewater, but it's not possible.
I mean, if they're in a bad enough situation that they need somebody like that. But I mean, do you think that there's any possibility that the Jets or even the Bills right now carry 3 quarterbacks going into the season?
Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely
both of them
think that they could do that.
The Bills, I don't know.
I think Buffalo does.
I think the Jets definitely do.
McCarron got hurt too, didn't he?
Did McCarron get hurt?
I think so.
I am pretty sure, I'm confident that the Jets are going to go in with 3 quarterbacks because they want Teddy Bridgewater to play so that teams can see that he is healthy and good to go so that they can, get a king's ransom for him.
Right.
I mean, it's certainly possible, yeah.
So that's I'm confident that is what is going to happen. So I think Miami.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see. I mean, we're also doing this evaluation off of one pregame. I mean, things will shift the more. I mean, after the 3rd pregame, we can really make an honest assessment because then we're going to see more of the competition aspect of it as teams are going to keep their starters in at least for the first half. And you'll be able to, if you have a situation like Buffalo or New York, that you can put all 3 of those quarterbacks up against the first team defenses and really kind of siphon through what you have here between dust and gold.
Exactly. No, that's a great point. But I think